right, I'm at my friend's homestead here today, BJ's. My goal this summer is hopefully get a few homesteads and farms for the channel here, show what other people
Awesome
are
idea.
doing here. And yeah, right now we're in his
Howdy.
Clara garden here. First time here, so I'm pretty excited to see what he's doing. So I
Happy to
guess
have you here. Very happy to
first
have
thing
you.
I guess is how did you get into homesteading, farming, gardening, whatever you guys are doing here?
Yeah, so the parents kind of decided to do this, and then as crap started hitting the fan more and people started getting more nervous, I guess, I started seeing a future maybe in sustainability.
Yeah,
So we kind of started going that route, especially with them. So I geared up about a year and a half ago and came here to help them with the homestead.
right on.
They had their plan probably about 5 years ago. They came up with the idea, so I'm a bit behind, but now we're slowly building it up, and they've done a rap load of work here, and I am slowly catching up, I guess, trying to do this garden down here that we're about to show you is my baby.
Awesome.
And one of my additions. I've been here for the greenhouse that you might see, and
The greenhouse is up there. We just took a quick tour through it, but it's still pretty rough shape right now.
yeah, we're kind of embarrassed a little bit about showing that off, so you don't get to maybe see the inside of it this
show
year.
the outside right now.
This year.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we go.
Cool. So for growing, I guess, is this your first year of actual growing, or have you been growing things in previous years?
Of course, over the years, I always had a garden,
Yeah.
but not to this extent. We're doing a lot more beds this year. By next year, we're probably going to build another 6 more 40-foot long beds of raised beds. So
you're going all in.
yeah, half of the problem we have is filling it, right? So we're slowly building our own soils, and as we build more beds. So next year we should be really ramping up. We got a lot more livestock to make manures from, make soil from the manure.
And it's kind of funny because I know BJ was just showing us here that he's pretty rocky where he is, and he's 5 minutes south of us, and we're pretty much sand where we are. So
a little jealous of that.
yeah, we won the jackpot on that one.
Yeah, we're a little jealous of that for sure.
Yeah.
Like even right here on my garden at the very back end, there's only maybe 2-3 inches, and below that is solid rock. So
yeah.
I kind of have to build everything up to there. So eventually there will be about a 2-foot probably raised down here as we slowly go. But I'm building that way first before I start building up.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll get more food in that way.
All right, well, I'll turn the camera on here in a sec here, and we'll get BJ just to walk us through what he's doing here. And he's going to show us a few other things on the farm. He just showed us some bees he has too, which is pretty awesome. But we'll check out some other beds as well.
We're going through the hive tomorrow, so maybe John will show up there, and we'll do a cool video there for you.
Check that out. Okay.
About our first mistake. My first mistake was putting down these wood chips. So I thought this would be a good idea to use these, and it's ended up being brought to my attention by John and another fella that this is not going to be my best line of defense. So come the end of this fall, I'm going to be ripping all this out, and we'll be putting in some thicker, bigger wood chips. But for now, we were brought aware of the market here in the town of Bancroft that we live near, and with that came all of this food. So this is all basically being grown for market. We got broccoli, bunch of lettuces, different kinds, beans, peas, yellow beans, green beans, spinach, cucumbers, squash. We won't talk about those poor tomatoes over there.
No, it's pretty
but
good.
For the most part,
yeah. Pretty good array of things. How big is this area you have down here right now?
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever measured it. It's probably 30 by 50, maybe 30 by 60.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Might be 25 by 60, we'll call it.
Yeah.
How's that? But we're going to go probably we're going to double the length at least down over this little rise here. We'll probably leave this tree. It seems to be a nice shaded thing for everybody. So we'll kind of probably leave it and go around it, incorporate that into the bed. But
right on.
Yeah, that'll be a big project this fall.
Cool. And I see you got some squashes and things you got going on down
here.
here.
Yeah, you got the cucumber line there, and then our squash is showing up over the far ends and around. You can see all the squash, but mainly cucumber is what we kind of want to do. We do our own relishes and stuff, so we go through many cucumbers.
He was talking to me too. He does biochar as well, which he adds into his garden. So we may come back again later on when he's doing a batch of biochar to see how that's done, because that's supposed to be really good for your soil and plants like that.
It's actually it's incredible. If you ever want to look it up, there's a book called Terra Preta. And Terra Preta will set you straight on where biochar comes from, what it does, and how it was even invented. It was invented by the Mayans thousands of years ago. If you actually look at the rainforest that we live near, the Amazon, that was built through the biochar and what was left behind from the Mayans and their gardens that they had tended. When they passed away and were wiped out by the Spanish, then of course the forest moved in and became the Amazon that we know today. So it's actually really cool stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, so all the neat stuff. But Terra Preta, read that book. You won't regret it.
Good. And I noticed you got some squashes already farming down here.
Yeah, man. I didn't notice that. Yeah, we do got some squash there popping. Yeah, these guys, we started in the greenhouse, so they've had a bit of a head start over everybody else.
Yeah, I'm ready to pick some zucchinis in the next day or two, hopefully.
Good for you.
But we'll see how that goes. Right on. Okay, well, should we take a walk up to your other bed up here and take a look
Yeah,
at it?
let's go on up.
Okay, the garden here. You said you just put this one in this year?
This is a new one for this year. All of our gardens get the biochar put in, and you can kind of see the difference that happens with the biochar. The cool thing is that biochar lasts hundreds of years, so it's something that doesn't break down like wood.
Like, look at your sage here and your beets. They're unreal.
Yeah, they're doing really well, eh? Like they really,
They're almost ready to be picked.
yeah. We could probably do 2 batches in there this year if we were smart.
And so what's this red stuff you have down here then?
So that's amaranth. Amaranth is the rest of the world's wheat. We get stuck with wheat over here in the Western society. We get fed wheat and all the bad things that come with wheat, but amaranth is what the rest of the world is actually eating. So, you know, it's a big cereal grain. The leaves are edible and delicious. They're full of protein, but it's the seed here that you can turn into the good stuff. So it's not seeded yet. You can see the white part is the actual seed starting to come out.
Right.
And that's what we're going to want to save.
And is this your first year growing amaranth?
Yes, it is. And this is a little terror. Come here, you. You guys couldn't jump.
Somebody wants to help the cart in here.
No. It sucks because about a week ago they couldn't even jump up there, so that's how big they're getting now. Now we got the new terror.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, so this stuff is actually going to be, we're going to probably try and make some flour with it, of course, and then we're going to keep a lot of that seed to reuse.
Right.
And then we've been slowly, like we've been eating a lot of the leaves we eat. It's really delicious. I actually like the taste of it. It's a very, very tasty plant.
Right on.
And it's high packed with protein, really, really high protein.
Cool. So
Yeah.
just before we continue on here, do you have a YouTube channel or any Instagram or anything for your farm here yet?
You can find us on Facebook. We got the Healing Hearts Farm, so you can catch us there. We have our own page, and YouTube channel will be soon to come. And I don't know, that'll probably be it. I'm not much of an Instagram guy, so you probably won't see me there.
Sounds good. I'm not there much either.
All right.
So I noticed you've got some nice, beautiful cone flowers as well. And where are these zinnias? No.
Oh, I forget what they call. Even these guys, I forget. These are all my mom. She's all about, this is her herbs, so. Oh, I should know this one. This is one we were talking about this the other day. They all have medicinal properties, so
Okay.
it's kind of what she's been gearing up for.
Cool.
Now these I know she's going to let go to seed, and then she wants to keep the seed for next year, and then we're going to maybe start selling these off. We'll see. But I forget the name of them. My apologies.
Calendula, is it?
That is what it is.
It is? Yeah, because I'm going some too.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yes.
What was that again?
Calendula.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Calendula. There you go. That's calendula.
Kristen,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Kristen goes quite a bit of it, so I got some in for her this year as well.
Nice.
Right on. And
Nice.
I noticed as we drove in, you got some chickens and some other gardens up top
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'll take you over,
Should
show
we
you
go
the
check those
coop,
out quickly?
and I can even show you. We got some pigs in the back. If you
Right.
want to go take a walk
Yeah.
back there.
Sure. Here we go.
So this year, this is going to be the beginning of the strawberry bed. I wanted to utilize the bed, so that's why you see the broccoli sitting in there. It was stuff that was left over from the greenhouse with some eggplant down at the end.
So I gotta say, my strawberry plants do not look this good.
So
It's the first year I've had them.
So-
But look how green they are, and I'm guessing this is from the biochar, right?
that's your biochar.
Wow.
It's just a really incredible product. It is. Like I've already been taking runners off of this, and it's given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more plants I'm probably going to get off that plant this year, if not more. And the other ones are throwing more out. So my goal is to have 30 plants in this bed, and I might actually reach that goal before winter hits. I'll start
Oh, easily.
like these guys here. See, she's ready to start almost planting this one.
Yeah.
So you just wait for the root to show up. You let it sit, do its thing. You can try and pin it where you want, and then it'll eventually just grow there. So
And with the runners, do you need to cut it off so it keeps growing properly, or can you just leave it?
once it's rooted, just let it do its thing. This will die off once it's rooted, and then just clean it up after.
Right.
Like that right there is not a runner, but the one next to it's a runner. That's a runner. These are all from this year. That one down is a runner.
Right.
So all those little guys that you see are actual runners from these main plants.
Cool.
And what I've been doing too is trying to keep the flowers off this year. So because they're just establishing themselves this year, it's best to not have them produce fruit, let them worry about the roots. So I've been trying to get rid of as many flowers as I can. A little bit of neglect.
And this guy you probably want to get rid of right here, this bindweed.
Yes, sir.
These things are brutal.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah.
That's good old, what do they call it, ivy, is it?
I think my friend told me the other day it was bindweed.
Bindweed, nice.
Who knows? It
nice.
goes everywhere.
So this is all for us. This is kind of an edible thing, like the strawberry we're going to have with the rhubarb. That'll be a big part of our diet next year, which I can't wait for.
No doubt.
And then this is our own vegetable garden too. This feeds the family. So everything we do in here is all for food. This is our herb garden kind of we got going on here.
And do you have a problem with deer out here?
The deer, not so much because of our dogs. They don't, not too much gets up this far. It gets this close to the homestead. So for the most part. But that's a garlic bed over there that you can see, just full of garlic.
Yeah, nice.
You know, I got my lettuces, carrots. I'll do successive gardening here. So there's 2 weeks apart for all the planting you see. So these peas are about to go. They were the first, got hit by a frost. And then as you go down, we get into the beans, then the next peas consecutively. There's some more peas coming up over in the far corner. I'll do some more this Sunday over here, just to keep all that kind of going, right?
Yeah.
And trying to keep these guys out of the beds.
Cool. Right on. I see chickens are over there too.
Yeah, let's go check out the chickens. We actually got a lot of new babies.
Do you have your own incubator that you hatch with, or are you?
We use the hens.
Hens?
Yeah, if you find hens that are good at brooding,
Yeah.
treasure them. So we have the Brahmas and the Chanticleers. So these guys are the Brahmas, all the colored ones with the fancy feet. And then you can see over here is the Chanticleer, and then these new chickens here, these are Chanticleer Brahma mixes. So we're getting a lot of, if you look, there's actually a Chanticleer with fancy feet now somewhere running around, which is kind of neat. It's all white with fancy feet. Like see our little, we got a pigeon over there.
Oh yeah.
But see the white one on the top? So if we can get that mom to look out, those white ones are actually just like these guys, only they have the fancy feet of the Chanticleer. It's our new breed of chicken.
Might have to start marketing those.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys are mainly for eggs, but they are considered a meat chicken too. You can have them for both. So any males that make it, you can see there's one male there at the top.
Yeah.
He's going to be this fall. There's a couple behind. I can show you into the coop. I think that's where the babies are right now. We got a new baby in there that's just beautiful. So in here is our brooding area. So right now there'll be one in here with some fresh chicks. So she's got fresh babies there.
Yeah, we just had two have some babies for us. We have 12 babies running around.
So you can see another mom's over here. So they've been moved in here just today, actually. This is the ones on the right, and then that one on the left. But they'll take care of each other. There's some hatching under there right now.
I love baby chickens.
Yeah, they're all different colors, eh? We got a cool mix this year. It's going to be really neat to see.
Right on.
So all the females get to stay, and they just lay, and the males are for freezer at the end of the year.
Yeah,
That's kind of their fate.
Yeah.
Then we got, of course, Lady in the back there. She's the hay burner.
Hello, hay burner.
That's Lady, our horse. Very beautiful girl. She's an old girl. Hey, girl.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you? Says, I'll take some grain if you don't mind. She loves her grain.
Yeah, so do our cows. They love the grain. Hi, how you doing?
She's very snotty. We built all this. This spring is when we kind of got this. Oh no, did we? Yeah, it was this spring.
Looks good.
This spring.
Ah.
Yeah, we just got our milking cow. Oh no, it was last year's. I'm sorry. Last year we did this. We got our milking cow in May of last year. So
right on.
She spent the first winter here, and she had her baby. Now her baby is. I can actually take you guys on the four-wheeler if you want. We can go over and look at the herd. It's over in the back, back 9.
Sure, we just need to decide what we're bidding on that.
So this is the big pen in here they have. They're going to get a few more this week, he said. Pretty cool. They're good at clearing out the forest as well.
Just opened up that back end. It was kind of all the way around here.
Yeah.
We don't have the back end, and now we got electric back there training them. So now they're learning the electric fence. Once they learn the electric fence, then we can go down, and we got 4 lines. We'll go down to probably just 2 or 3.
We only had 2 last year.
Yeah.
We went to 3 this year just because the garden's right beside them now.
Well, there's the odd time too. Like there'll be that one pig that once he figures it out, oh
Yeah.
man, once they know they just got to break through,
Yeah.
they'll do it. And
That's what I'm worried about, but so far so good.
well, that was when we did the 2 lines. So this year we're going to stay 3 just because we don't want that happening. Last year it was such a pain. Like he was the first to go, and he had, because of him, he took them out too many times that they ended up getting stuck. And that's what gave us the round pen idea, is that we threw them in a round pen down in the bottom area here, because they just kept coming and congregating down here every day, and it was just a pain.
They'll clear this forest floor out pretty quick too, I bet, eh?
Well, look, that's babies, and they've done that in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're already picked up pace that they're doubling now. They'll do that next space in a week, and then we'll leave this to them, and hopefully this will contain them for the rest of the season. But they could outgrow this too. They could root everything.
Yeah.
It's what they do afterwards, eh? It's incredible. Like it's like that upper field there. We routed probably a good 7 acres, 6 acres up there last year with our pigs, and you know the front field was the year before with pigs. So it's really neat to see stuff that grows that you haven't seen growing in 100 years type of thing can pop up from them doing
Yeah.
the rutting, eh?
Right, BJ, so where's the next stop on the tour of your homestead here?
Probably, like you said, the best place is the sugar bush. This is
Yeah.
where I think most of the thinking gets done, and definitely the best times I've had are back here. I love being back here boiling. Our boil sometimes lasts up to 40 hours, so
Yeah.
when we start a boil, we have the little bunkie back here you can crash in. There's 2 beds in there,
Nice.
and we have almost 500 taps, probably over 400 trees. And we'll probably do another 100 taps again this year. We'll add another 100. We try to add 100 every year is what our goal is, until we probably get to 1,000, and then we'll stop.
So I gotta catch up to you. I've got 350 this year.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I gotta get 200 more to catch up, I guess.
Oh, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's yeah. Your maple syrup. His maple syrup looks a lot nicer than ours. I'm giving him that. He's got a nice color. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
But well, I don't know about the taste. We haven't checked that out.
Cool. Well, let's check out your little setup here. What do you got going on?
It's kind of rickety right now. It's all clean. We kind of get everything clean before we store it.
It's kind of like mine. Mine was pretty rickety when I first started, but now I've got a nice setup going.
So we basically, these are the holding tanks.
Yeah.
So this is how you can see I was measuring the boils there last year, seeing how much we were boiling per hour type of thing.
Oh, I should be doing that because I just kind of guesstimate.
It's good to know, right? Like
Yeah.
we were getting up to 20 gallons an hour was our top boil
Wow.
of last year. So that for me, I was surprised that we were doing 20 gallons an hour.
Yeah.
So we start out right here. Everything comes into here cold and filtered. We'll
Yeah.
filter it right here. Then it boils from here cold. Once we get a good boil in here, we'll probably boil. We can sometimes boil this whole thing maybe halfway down before we start feeding into the evaporator.
Very nice.
So we actually run this into the evaporator. It's all set up, piped in, so that
Yeah.
this sets the level. So this would be turned the other way, of course.
Float box.
You got it?
Yeah.
So the float just kind of dictates what's going on inside all of this. This is all piped together. And then at the end of the time, when everything's done, we actually pull this off, and then we finish on a propane
Right.
with just this guy.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's actually got your temperature gauge and everything on the front.
Oh wow.
So this is literally what we do, and what you do is you boil water in there first, and then you
Yeah.
set it to 0, and then it'll go your degree above,
Okay.
so that you know when you hit syrup.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Exciting out here.
and then of course this is usually by if you come back again before the snow flies, there'll be walls of wood here ready to be burnt, right?
Yeah.
So That's
So,
going to be a big project.
One thing that I noticed with mine is you may increase your boil rate if you put some boards up front, so you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the wind.
Yeah, it does help,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I've noticed too. Is once we do drop down a little bit, we're
Yeah.
starting to we lose a lot of boil.
Yeah.
But you can see here, we close this right up,
Yeah.
so everything is contained, and then what we do is have our draft come through right here.
Yeah.
And if anything, I'm actually turning the draft down usually to keep the flames underneath the pan and not going up into the pipe.
Right.
Same with this guy. You gotta this one's a bit of a bugger. I don't know if it's the best design, but your firebox is really small.
Yeah.
So you can put longer, you know, maybe 20-inch in there, but not much longer. And then the idea is, you know, you get a good burn going, and you want that draft to pull it in through the flutes, because, you know, I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but, you know, these pans are designed with a flute, they're called.
Oh, you got the drop throughs on yours.
So see, these are.
That's one thing I don't have on mine.
So what they do is they increase surface area, right? Is kind of the key behind them.
Yeah.
So if you were to take that whole area and, you know, break it all out and flatten it all out, it'd be a huge area getting boiled, and everything touching all that surface is boiling, right? So that's why these guys boil so well.
Yeah, I definitely need that because mine's all flat pan, so I noticed the boil is kind of hit or miss depending on the back pan. It's
Right.
Yeah.
So those flutes were just ingenious. Whoever came up with those ideas, that's what it was all about: surface area and increasing your boil and the area being touched by the sap.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's an all right setup. We do okay back here, and
I know you're doing 3/16 lines or 5/16.
3/16.
Yeah.
3/16 running into. We have one 1-inch main line right here that runs, I bet you, 500 feet back through the bush there.
Right.
And maybe 400 feet, and then it's got probably a third of the lines running into it. So when we get a flow going and you hear this thing, if this is empty and this thing's flowing in, it sounds like somebody's just opened up a faucet. It's just a constant pour, and you're like, how is it ever? Like, you just wonder where it's all coming from. But
Well, guess what? We'll be back in next April.
Yeah.
In April for sure.
Yeah, well, I'll do a
Yeah.
boil. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have you over for sure.
Cool. Well, I think that pretty much finishes off our tour of the
Awesome.
homestead here. Thanks for showing us around. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming and visiting.
Yeah,
Nice having you.
I hope everybody enjoys seeing what you're doing here and maybe learn something from you guys. But don't forget, guys, I'll put his
We're
link
all
to his
learning.
Facebook in the description box there.
Cool.
So you can check out what they're doing. And thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you out there. Happy gardening.
Take care.